The Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker is an American military aerial refueling tanker aircraft that was developed from the Boeing 767-80 prototype, alongside the Boeing 707 airliner. It has a narrower fuselage and is shorter than the 707. Boeing gave the aircraft the internal designation of Model 717, with the number later assigned to a different Boeing aircraft. The KC-135 was the United States Air Force's first jet-powered refueling tanker. It replaced the KC-97 Strato freighter. The KC-135 was initially tasked with refueling strategic bombers and was used extensively in the Vietnam War and later conflicts, such as Operation Desert Storm and the Iran War, to extend the range and endurance of U.S. tactical fighters and bombers. The KC-135. Romeo has 4 turbofan engines, mounted under 35-degree swept wings, which power it to takeoffs at gross weights up to 322,500 pounds. Nearly all internal fuel can be pumped through the tanker's flying boom, the KC-135's primary fuel transfer method. A boom operator stationed in the rear of the aircraft controls the boom while lying prone, viewing through a window at the bottom of the tail. Both the flying boom and operator station are similar to those of the previous KC-97. The KC-135 entered service with the United States Air Force in 1957. It's one of only 9 military fixed-wing aircraft with over 60 years of continuous service with its original operator. The KC-135 was supplemented by the larger McDonnell Douglas KC-10 extender. Studies have concluded that many of the aircraft could be flown until 2030, although maintenance costs have greatly increased. The KC-135 is to be partially replaced by the Boeing KC-46 Pegasus. On the 12th of March, 2026, a crash in western Iraq claimed the lives of all 6 crew members aboard a KC-135 refueling aircraft, which was supporting operations against Iran. After the US military confirmed the plane crash, US Central Command, which oversees the Middle East, stated that the crash followed an unspecified incident involving 2 aircraft in what they described as friendly airspace. The other plane involved did land safely. US Central Command reported that all 6 crew members on board the crashed KC-135 have been confirmed dead. The command said that, while the circumstances of the crash are under investigation, the loss of the aircraft was, quote, not due to hostile or friendly fire. A US official, speaking on condition of anonymity due to the developing nature of the situation, mentioned that the other plane involved was also a KC-135. Yechil later, the Israeli ambassador to the United States, wrote on X that the other plane landed safely in Israel. According to Yang, a South Korean security expert, it would be quite rare for a refueling tanker to be downed by enemy fire, since such operations are usually carried out in the rear areas of combat zones. The crash occurred just after 3 US F-15E fighter jets were mistakenly downed last week by friendly Kuwaiti fire. The KC-135 Stratotanker is a United States Air Force aircraft used to refuel other planes in mid-air, allowing them to travel longer distances and maintain operations longer without landing. The plane is also used to transport wounded personnel during medical evacuations or conduct surveillance missions, according to military experts. Based on the same design as the Boeing 707 passenger plane, the tanker has been in service for more than 60 years, supporting the United States Air Force, Navy and Marine Corps, as well as Allied aircraft, according to an Air Force description. The aging plane is set to be gradually phased out as more of the next-generation KC-46A Pegasus tankers enter service. Despite upgrades over the years, the KC-135's age has fueled concern about their reliability and durability. The last of these planes were produced in the 1960s, said Yang Uk, a security expert at South Korea's Asan Institute for Policy Studies. He added that the transition to the KC-46A has progressed more slowly than expected. According to the Congressional Research Service, the Air Force last year had 376 KC-135s, including 151 on active duty, 163 in the Air National Guard, and 62 in the Air Force Reserve. A basic KC-135 crew has 3 people: a pilot, a co-pilot, and a boom operator. Nurses and medical technicians are added in aeromedical evacuation missions. Refueling usually happens at the back of the plane, where the boom operator is located. A fuel boom is lowered to connect with fighters, bombers, or other aircraft. On many of the planes, the boom operator actually works lying face down while looking out of a window on the underside of the plane. Some KC-135s can also refuel planes from pods on their wings. And the tankers also have room to carry cargo or passengers if needed. Refueling tankers could play an increasingly important role if the Iran war drags on, as United States aircraft may need to fly longer missions to pursue Iranian forces retreating deeper into the country, said Yang. KC-135s have previously been involved in several fatal accidents. The most recent occurred on May 3, 2013, when a KC-135 Romeo crashed after takeoff south of Chaldivar, Kyrgyzstan, while supporting the war in Afghanistan. In that crash, the crew experienced problems with the plane's rudder, according to a United States Air Force investigation. While they struggled to stabilize the plane, the tail section broke away and the plane exploded mid-air, killing all 3 crew members on board. The most serious mid-air collision involving the plane happened in 1966, when a B-52 bomber carrying nuclear bombs struck a tanker near Palomares, Spain. The accident caused the tanker to crash, killing 4 on board. The disaster led to an extensive decontamination effort to clean up nuclear material dispersed when conventional explosives in the hydrogen bombs detonated after hitting the ground. Investigators suspect a mid-air collision between the 2 tankers during an air-to-air refueling mission, according to the New York Times. The operation occurred amid challenging conditions, potentially including high winds. Air tankers perform mid-air refueling by flying in close, stable formation, while transferring fuel via a rigid flying boom or a flexible hose and drogue system. The tanker extends the apparatus, either a telescoping tube guided by an operator or a hose with a funnel-shaped drogue, which connects with the receiving aircraft's probe, allowing thousands of gallons of fuel to flow at high altitude. Key aspects of mid-air refueling include the systems used. The flying boom is a rigid telescopic tube operated by a crew member in the tanker who guides the boom into a receptacle on the receiver plane, allowing fast fuel transfer. The probe and drogue system means the tanker trails a hose with a funnel-shaped drogue, and the receiver pilot maneuvers a probe into this basket to create a seal, which is commonly used by the Navy and international forces. The process itself requires the tanker and receiver to match speed and altitude perfectly, often within just a few feet of each other, while battling turbulence. The receiver connects to the apparatus, fuel is transferred, and the aircraft disconnects once full. The purpose behind all of this is to allow aircraft to extend their range, stay airborne longer, and take off with heavier payloads because they can fill up on fuel once they're already in the air. This complex maneuver is a sky-high ballet that requires intense precision from both pilots and the boom operator to maintain safety. However, the Iranian claims of a missile strike by resistance groups remain unsubstantiated and have been debunked by United States military sources and the Pentagon.